which means she's probably going to do well in the 10,000. She's never run one on the track. They've said she wants to do the 5 and 10 double at the World Champs this year. She's never won a World or Olympic outdoor title, so this could be her event, but it's our first chance to see Sifan Hassan, and she has that similar type of ability as Kejelcha to just put the hammer down and close incredibly hard.
Here we go, women's 10,000. Your section of the women's 10,000 here at Peyton Jordan underway. We have Carolina Tabarez Guerrero, Elena Tabb, Jenny Nesbitt, Charlotte Arter, Kinsey Middleton, Camille Buscombe, Alicia McCoglin, Laura Thweet, Jessica Ton, Natasha Wodak, Alice Wright, Carrie Demoff, Dom Scott, Rachel Cliff, Talea Roberta De Cavallo, Maya Shoji, Susan Crummins, Caitlin Goodman, Jessica Widechizik, Sivan Hassan from Nike Oregon Project, as you mentioned, Sarah Pagano, Maria Bada, Ayuka Suzuki, Ellie Pashley, Emily Durgan, and our pacer, Emma Coburn.
Get a gold medalist to pace
I mean,
this race.
I do want to call that out. That speaks a lot about Emma Coburn. For you to be a world champion in the steeplechase, you make the trip to Stanford. You know there's some things on the line for a lot of athletes, and you're out here pacing a 10,000-meter race at 10 o'clock at night to help these ladies. That speaks volumes about the kind of person Emma Coburn is, as she's going to bring them through the first lap in 76, 77 seconds. So we'll get a gauge at 32:05 pace. So world standard 31:50, the Olympic standard 31:25, and it looks like McCoglin running for A6 and coming across the pond here to run. Right behind her, you have Susan Crummins and Dom Scott there, number 13, the Adidas kit on. I mean, this is the Peyton Jordan 10K, especially now with the changes in the Diamond League, is one of the few 10Ks out there for you to come out and run a standard. This is literally an event that causes athletes from around the world to come out to California and run this race.
And that's why we have the Olympic standard there on the screen. Yes, it's in 2020, but how many 10,000-meter opportunities are there between now and then? Not a whole lot. I mean, it's obviously not in the Diamond League anymore. There might be one, Prefontaine Classic in the next, this year or next year, but there's really not a ton. So you have to take advantage of the few that you can, and this is one of them. So they have a obviously credentialed rabbit here to help them do it. We'll see how quickly they can go. I mean, 31:25 though is a very, very quick time.
2:32 through 800, so 31:40 pace all of a sudden as they drop it down. And again, just speaking of Emma being out here pacing, it talks to how serious the athletes are taking this race and how important this opportunity is. So it's all about dialing into the pace for the first part of this race for both the men and the women, and then over that last mile, last 6 laps, shake things up and get some racing going. So we're going to build things up. We got the MegaCast splits on the left of your screen. Standards are out there, so we are ready to roll.
Yomif Kejelcha blew up the MegaCast there in the last race. I mean, he took the projections.
First sub-60 splits I think we've seen tonight. Maybe the 1500s, but we didn't have the MegaCast up for that.
It was a MegaCast first, and Yomif, we should get him to sign the MegaCast for us. I think that was an incredible last 800. You see Sifan Hassan there running in 7th place with those bright yellow socks, running very comfortably. Eilish McColgan, you mentioned, in 2nd place. In 3rd there, hip 17, that's Susan Crummins representing the Melbourne Track Club. And then in front of her, that's Dominique Scott of South Africa. Now, she trains with Emma Coburn along with Laura Thweet. So you have 2 members of that group out in Boulder along with Emma Coburn racing here tonight. But they're in a very orderly single file line here. A 77 and 275s. There's a shot of Thweet there for a moment there in that light blue. Hip number 8 as they go through 1200, or excuse me, they go through 1600. And they are right at, let's get the split here.
South American champion.
Get that for you in a moment.
The bronze medalist in the South American
As Coburn continues to lead.
That's Grijalvo.
Hassan obviously looks comfortable. We're coming up on the 1,600 meter split. Excuse me, Mind and Mind is still in 5,000 meter mode. Coburn, Crummins.
So they're about to get to 1,600 meters here.
Yeah, I told him I was in 5,000 meter
Okay,
mode.
there you go.
5,000 meter mode. Now I'm in 10,000 meter mode.
5:02.
I'm one with the mega cast now, 76 there. So great job by Emma Coburn. Who knew she'd also be good at this? Never would have guessed it. So 31:34, the current pace. So that is under the world standard, but just above the Olympic standard. But people certainly could kick off of that, go even quicker. Also in this field, Caitlin Goodman, who's run 31:55. Camille Buscombe, who's run 31:45. Maraf Bata was scheduled to run in this race. She's supposed to be there at hip 22. She could be the closest challenger to Sifin Hassan. She's run 31:13. She's won Peyton titles the last 2 years, once in the 5K last year and then the 10K 2 years ago. Great job by Coburn here to string out the field.
Here we come up on 2K. Coburn leads him through in 6:18, so 75. 31:34, so we're getting closer to that Olympic standard now. 31:30, the current pace. So McCoglin just doing a great job sitting there right behind her. Susan Crummins right there. Dom Scott. Crummins' Melbourne Track Club teammate, Camille Buscombe. Actually got to eat with them last night, and they were all excited about the race tonight. Have been working out in Flagstaff for the past 3 weeks at altitude and coming down. Also have a third teammate, Ellie Pashley, in here. Picked up marathoning about 3 years ago. This year ran 2:46.
It's a good hobby.
Yep, 2:26.
Okay, that's even better.
In March, so not that long ago, about less than 2 months ago. So, not a bad start to the year. Now doing one of her first 10Ks on the track in quite some time. So.
Running one spot ahead of Sifin Hassan is Alice Wright of Hoka NAZ Elite 32:15. Her personal best from last year. All-American 4 times in the NCAA 10,000.
7:34, 7:30, or 1:16. That'll be 31:32.
This is great pacemaking. Now, obviously, it's longer than the 5K, so we'll see how long Coburn sticks in this, but right now she's running consistent and she's putting them in range of this world standard.
Susan Crummins, her PR in this event, 31:20, so just a little bit under the world championship or the Olympic standard. She did that at the 2017 World Championships, silver medalist in the 10K last year at the European Championships.
You know my favorite Susan Crummins stat is? 8th, 8th. 8th, 8th. She's 8th at 2013 World Champs, 8th in 2015 World Champs, 8th in the 2016 Olympics, and 8th in the 2017 World Championships, all in the 5K. It's crazy.
Man, that is wild.
What are the odds? Not a numbers guy, Ryan.
Well, if you're Susan Crummins, they're pretty good, I guess.
At this point. So we got 18 to go here. Emma Coburn leading in a little gap now.
8:49, 75. She is doing the job out there for them, and all they have to do is sit behind her. McCoglin.
When I wonder if we'll have some, I wonder if Hassan will kind of play the role that Kajelka did, and when Coburn does step off, if she's able to do some of the work. Obviously, she's certainly capable of this pace, or if she's just going to sit back, hey, this is my first 10,000, I want to get through it, I'll just run with the pack and wait till 2 to go and be able to drop a crazy last 800. a little bit of a gap still there between Coburn and the rest. And it's funny, they were almost, looked like they were dialed into 76s, so when Coburn ran that 75, got a little bit of a break. But now that lead seems to grow just ever so slightly. Coburn looks very comfortable. Maybe put some barriers out for her? If she could do them in lane 3.
I'll forget a little practice. That was actually, they said, if I go past, I don't even know where we're at. If I go past 3,200, we got to put some barriers on the outside of the backstretch, so get a little workout in. So 17 laps to go, 10:05. And Coburn leads them through at 76 on that last lap. So they're starting to fade off a little bit.
Yeah, that gap is about 10, 15 meters.
Fastest time in the NCAA on the air is 32:06 by Ali Ostrander. You saw her.
Another time to keep in mind for some of these ladies out there, the U.S. standard, 32:25. Mark to get to that U.S. championship. So Coburn's got to be careful. She's making herself look like a pretty good 10,000 meter runner right now.
Think she sticks in?
No, I do not think she sticks in.
It's worth mentioning this pack. I mean, none of them are even like a foot off the rail. I mean, they're running the shortest distance possible. So this has been great work by Coburn to string out the pack, but also they've done a good job making sure they're running the shortest line.
Interesting that no one's gone around yet. I think McCoglin, I mean, if their goal is world standard pace, they're well within where they need to be, 11:20 with 16 to go, so she's 9 laps in. But surprised that they've let her go this far. I wonder if Coburn will step, maybe doing the even number 10 laps and then stepping off. We'll see when she gets back around.
Well, that was a 78, and she was moving away from the pack, so the pack was running even slower. I would guess somebody's going to move around, but I would think they would wait until this projection slips outside world standard before coaches start getting a little nervous.
Yeah, and when she steps off, she'll be around, but you'll see this gap here now. About close to 6 seconds, the gap.
Yeah, no one seems eager to move. I mean, the pack is just making basically McColgan the secondary rabbit at this point and just following behind her. So
Coburn's coming up on 4K.
About 15 in this group.
And Coburn, she is, again, 6 seconds up or so on the field. Just looked over her shoulder to take a look and see what she does here. 15 laps to go, 12:36. And McCoglin's going to come through at 12:40. So that's the pace we're looking at now, 12:40 at 31:40. So we have McCoglin's time up on the splits now as Coburn is well ahead of them.
Also on that train.
So
32:10 is her personal best. So she's still running right at, and she's running at PR pace here for Eilish McColgan. So
at 4,000 meters.
Silver medalist last year at the European Championships for 5K.
So they're working. I mean, that gap is growing, but they're still running a solid tempo here. Just wonder if someone's going to give her a break at the front.
I'm curious to see if Emma's goal is to get through 5K.
At this point, we'll be hitting 4,400. A pretty nice workout to get through 5,000. The lead now is stretched to about 40 meters.
So Emma Coburn coming through, 14 laps to go, 13:51. And McCoglin is coming through at 13:57. So 77. So 31:42. So they're still looking pretty good right now. Ooh, little bump there.
Dom Scott into second. As Ryan mentioned, on the Megacaster, you're seeing the splits for McColgan, that chase pack.
I think Coburn's going 5K.
I was going to say, taking Coburn off the Megacaster is going to look silly if she stays in the whole time. Colgan second. Dom Scott there behind her. Sifin Hassan hasn't really moved. Alice Wright ahead of her. And then Camille Buscombe with hip 6. So that pack is still just locked in. No one's done much moving at all.
So Coburn, her goal tonight was 15:45 through 5K. So she's got just over 200 meters to go.
Through 5K, which will be another half.
So we're at 15:07, and we'll get an idea of the split.
You know,
for the rest of the group.
I don't know if Emma Coburn's ever actually run a 5K.
We're gonna get a PR here
on the track.
So that was a 78.
I think this is. It's going to be an unofficial 5K, but this is going to be her first 5K on the track. She didn't have a mark for the 5K. Her goal pace was for 15:45. I'm not sure if we can get her finish here. See if we can get her crossing the line, but we'll read it out. She's going to cross through Emma Coburn at 5K, 15:45. She's still going.
Interesting here. She's still rolling.
So Emma Coburn passed her pacing duties at 15:45.
Don't see a 5,000 meter time from her. I didn't think I'd have to do that bit of research for today.
15:53 from McCoglin. So they're 8 seconds back, and Coburn is coming through. It's kind of stealing the early show here with 12 laps to go, and 16:22. So
still going?
Still going.
12 laps for the rest of the group, 16:32.
So we'll keep track and see how far Coburn goes, but man, McCoglin still leading this group behind Coburn with Dom Scott, Susan Crummins, Camille Buscombe in there.
Alice Wright locked in, and of course Sifin Hassan.
So here's Coburn crossing over the line again, and she's at 17 even, so another 75, and still going.
Another PR.
Still going.
She's just ticking them off here. I mean, for what it's worth, she looks really comfortable running this pace.
Yeah, she looks very comfortable.
Not that anything a world champion is going to surprise me about, but this is much longer than we've ever seen her run. Cruising right along here is Emma Coburn. So Eilish McColgan continuing to lead. Big group here. Nice round of applause
Coburn
from the crowd.
Coming through, 11 laps to go, 17:39. McCoglin, she's going to come through now at 17:50 with 11 to go, so 11 seconds behind Coburn.
14 I'm counting in that group, including Carrie Demoff.
I'm so confused right now.
Oh,
so
about Coburn?
Oh man, you know, you don't see Pacers normally stay on this far past their duty. She's speeding up a little bit here.
I think this is it. This must be the swan song.
So here we come. That was 18:16. She's still going.
She's getting splits there.
That's I'm pretty sure that's her coach/husband, Joe Boschard.
For the record, Ryan is keeping track of all these splits here.
I think that was about a 76. So I'm starting to question pacing duties at this point. But Emma Coburn looks so smooth and rolling through. She's going to have 10 laps to go. I wonder if at this point it's just to, hey, keep going until it doesn't feel that comfortable anymore at 18:54. So Sifin Hassan now moves to the lead. She looks over at McCoglin.
Maybe like, what's going on here?
So 17:50 they were at the last one. Here they come through at 19:07. So 77 picked it up a second, but the last 5, 6, 7 laps have alternated between 78 and 77 as Coburn is almost 100 meters ahead of the field at this point. And she's coming around. And she's going to cross the line on the other side at 19:31. So another 75 second.
She's dialed in there. In that pack that you're seeing right now, Dom Scott's in there. Her lifetime best is 31:51, and right now they're projected at 31:52. Give you a sense of where they're running relative to their ability. So for a lot of women, this is a trying pace here. Sifan Hassan, no doubt, with her personal best in the 5,000 at 14:22 can handle this.
I'm going to ask that we try to have a, yeah, there we go. Get a camera occasionally here on Emma a little more as we try to figure out 20:10 with 9 laps to go. There she is.
So let's just reiterate this for a second. You heard she was only going 5,000?
There's a sheet with her pacing duties at 5K at 15:45. She's well beyond that at this point as their 2024 is Sifan Hassan with Dom Scott following.
Well, I mean, what's interesting here is if she does stay in, Hassan doesn't want to lose. So this thing is going to force Hassan to speed up.
Here you go. Let's see what her face looks like as she's looking over at her coach and husband. He's over there. 20:48.
Oh, she put her hands up.
Here we go. She's stepping off.
There we go.
20:48. Okay, so that was the last one. That was a 67. So that was her first time, I think, above.
77.
Other than 77. Excuse me. So that was the first time above 76 since the first lap of this race. So Emma Coburn goes through 6,400 meters at 20:48. I'm pretty sure 20:45 would have been 75 pace.
And what does that convert to for a 3K steeple? Just off the top of your head.
Oh, man.
Sifan Hassan at the front of this pack as expected. And I don't think anybody is going to come up and challenge her as long as she keeps this pace going. I think they are content just to ride the coattails here of a global medalist. 21:39. And this lap's going to be pretty quick. There we go, 75. So that's the fastest lap we've seen since the 2,800 meter mark. And I would guess it's going to hold steady there. Our current projection now down to 31:50, right on world standard.
We are on 31:50 pace, so right on world championship standard pace.
So they are moving 31:50. Hassan and now Crummins, the two Dutch women, 1-2 at the moment.
Yeah, Crummins going with her. Scott in third. Buscombe in fourth. McColgan in there still.
Hassan and Crummins.
And Hassan and Crummins have about 5 meters or so on Scott. And we'll see how much Hassan ratchets this down.
So they're starting to pull away here, and watch out, Buscombe now making a move to go up with her teammate.
74, so that's the fastest lap of the race.
74.6.
So what was once a group of 14 in a straight line has now scattered.
There you go, Buscombe running tough.
Yeah, Camille Buscombe, Melbourne Track Club, like you mentioned, 31:45, her lifetime best, and the current pace projection is now down to 31:47. Buscombe raced in the World Championships for New Zealand in 2017, so it looks to be 3 women in this pack. Good run now from Ayoko Suzuki in the red there, up into 4th.
Buscombe trying to fix her number there, get comfortable as this pace starts picking up. She's got a 15:19 PR in 5K, 8:45 last year she ran in the 3K, 4:27 on the roads in the mile. So she's got pretty good range herself.
Suzuki in 4th. I mean, she's a 31:18 PR from 3 years ago.
All of a sudden, 6 laps to go. We said at the beginning, this is when the racing really begins as we go 24:07 with 6 to go. So another 74-second lap there. Dom Scott right in front of Natasha Wodak. They're in the 5th and 6th position. And Sarah Pagano behind them.
Yeah. I mean, great run by Buscombe just to get that gap erased really quickly and latch on here.
Yeah, that was a heads-up move. You don't want to be in that no man's land, no woman's land, as we should say.
Hassan took a look behind her. I don't know if she wants someone else to lead or she's just sort of gauging her effort off of how close everybody else is, but
24:44 they were there.
Again, she's got to feel pretty comfortable here. Don't obviously know how heavy her training load is right now. Assuming they're probably doing some heavy work, seeing as how the World Championships aren't until late September into early October this year.
So here we go, coming up on 5 to go, 2,000 meters left. We're gonna get you the 8K split here. So 8K, Hassan, Crummins, and Buscombe, 25-50, or sorry, 25-22, 25-21, as there another 74. So Hassan dialed in now on those 74s, the last 3 laps. MegaCast on the screen, giving you a full replay of splits here.
So the Olympic standard projecting just 16 seconds off, but the men's 5K seemed like more of a long shot, and Kejelcha did it. So I think Hassan still has a shot. Now again, someone of her caliber can obviously run 31:25, but there's just not that many opportunities to do it. So you have to think she wants to knock it out now, keep that option open. So there are only 2 women now remaining. Buscombe is dropped for the moment, and it is Hassan and Crummins. As Ryan mentioned, Euro silver last year in a thrilling race. Hassan was at that meet representing Netherlands. And they are 1-2 right now, heading into 4 laps to go.
1,600 meters, 26:35, 74, dialing it in.
It's a 4:56 last 1,600, 4:74, boom, 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 right down the middle.
So that would put them, if they repeated that, that would put them at, what is that, 31:31. So current pace is based on the overall time, but if they just repeat that last mile they just did, they'd be at 31:31. So there's a good shot they're going to hit that Olympic standard. These ladies have wheels. Both of them run quick at over 1,500, so 27:12 there. Buscombe, she's got a shot to run close to her PR, 31:45, so 31:50 is that world standard. She's going to keep that in her eye. So didn't look like, we talked about Bata earlier, didn't look like she ended up coming out tonight, but.
And 31:20 is Crummins' PR. That's going to be a tall order, but she's running a great race with 3 to go here.
We got 27:49 on the clock. 74 once again, my friends. Here we go.
Impressive consistency, but she's a 65-minute half marathoner. She knows how to grind out.
They need to the PR comment, they'd have to run 70 average over the last 3 laps for Crummins to hit that PR. So they're at 74s right now. Got to think they're going to take some time off that last lap, but how fast will that last lap be? Hassan and Crummins running great here tonight. It's going to be close to that Olympic standard. I think they're going to get it. The 2 Dutch women. This isn't just about the Olympic standard. There's some pride on the line here, and you know the fans back out there in the Netherlands are paying attention to this race. Actually, there's a documentary crew here filming some of Crummins' journey to get to this race and get the standard. But now you got Hassan with a step on Crummins with 2 laps to go. Watch this pace have dropped just a little bit, 29 flat, 29:01.
Let's be 71.
So 72.
Excuse me.
And so here we go. 31:32, the current pace at the overall elapsed time. And Crummins, not quite enough to stick with Hassan. And now the race for 3rd is a good one there with Buscombe.
Yeah, and Suzuki there in second and third. But Sifin Hassan, just like her Nike Oregon Project teammate Yomif Kejelka,
Wow.
is putting on a big rush with 800 to go. She's looking around a whole bunch. There's no need to do that. She's going to roll here.
Well, again, it's not just about the standard for her. She knows there's a little Dutch battle here going as well. So she wants to keep that in, just in her eye to make sure she's got it. But she's got 450 to go now and is rolling. Crummins still looks smooth, even though she hasn't been able to keep pace with Hassan. Still looks good. 1 to go at 30:09, 30:10, and Crummins at 30:15.
So that's a 69, and the projection is right at 31:25.
So
Sifin Hassan taking a look behind. Again, there's no need to do that. She's going to roll.
30:23 for second and third there with Buscom and Suzuki. And Hassan, 250 left.
Saw a shot of Crummins there, mouth agape with 300 to go, just trying to hang on.
30:43 with 200 meters left, and now Crummins passes through at 30:50, so 7-second gap for Hassan.
So here's Sifin Hassan of the Nike Oregon Project in her first 10,000 meter race on the track. She's been so close to global gold, but perhaps she's found an event that can give her that elusive medal. Sifin Hassan is going to storm to a victory and get an Olympic standard in her first attempt at 10,000 meters. Woo! Gets the win in 31:18.
And here we go, watch the clock. Crummins is gonna come through. Let's see what it was. And here comes Buscom, finishing hard for third. Hassan's 31:18.12 is the official time, so she's under the standard. Crummins 31:23.81, she's got it. 3 seconds off her PR. Buscom 31:33, a 12-second PR for her. Suzuki 31:33.
So that's a world standard for this year, if she didn't already have it.
So Dimhoff 31:42, Scott 31:43. We got Wodak at 31:43, Paisley 31:43. Pagano at 31:51. So the top 8 all hit the world standard. Pagano just off of it. Cliff at 31:54. Tab 55. Wright 56.
Wodak 31:43.
So we got 3 Olympic qualifying standards and then a handful, about 7, I think, after that, world qualifying standards. Jessica Tan just over 32:06. So again, through 15, any of the Americans in there have hit the US standard.
Carrie Dimhoff got a 15-second PR. Oh.
Emily Durgan, the last one in there, running for Under Armour, she got 31:23. She hit that US standard.
Dominique Scott takes 8 seconds off her lifetime best, runs 31:43. Sifin Hassan goes 69:68 in her last 2 laps there.
Well, 2:17 over the last 800, not bad.
So 31:56 there for Alice Wright. She enters the land of 31. Her previous personal best 32:15. Great race for her.
We saw down on the track, mentioned Ellie Paisley, who had ran a 2:26 marathon just 2 months ago.